Knowing whether you're an introvert or extrovert can completely change your social life because it will change the way you engage in social interactions. So the fundamental difference between introverts and extroverts is Hello boys, how are we? Quick introduction if you're new here. I'm a psychology student trained to be a therapist, so on this channel we talk about mindset, growth, mental health and basically all around self-development. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. Today I wanted to talk about being an introvert versus being an extrovert. This came up because I've seen a few things on Instagram and I've had something that personal sort of experience to me the last couple of days that sort of made me think about it, because it's not something that a lot of people know about. You sort of see a lot of people's opinions on what they think an introvert and extrovert is, and if they are one or not one. You get knobheads saying things like I'm an introverted extrovert and things like that. They are not personality types. You cannot be both. They are fundamentally how your brain is wired. You could maybe change it. I don't know many people that have, but I wanted to talk about it because it's important to know the difference, because it can help you manage your social interactions a lot better. Knowing whether you're an introvert or extrovert can completely change your social life because it will change the way you engage in social interactions. So the fundamental difference between introverts and extroverts is an introvert is someone whose battery is drained by social interaction. An extrovert is someone whose battery is charged by social interaction. What that means is, if you are an introvert, talking to people, going out and being really social will literally physically exhaust you. If you go out to a party, you chat to loads of people, you might be so happy at that party, absolutely loving it, but you get home and you are absolutely exhausted from social interaction. Extroverts are the opposite. You could be absolutely knackered, needing to go to bed. You turn up to a party, as soon as you start chatting to people, you're actually starting to feel more awake and much better, and you end up probably feeling better than you did than if you'd just stayed in bed and had a nap. That is the fundamental difference, and I want to go into why it's important to understand those differences. I think the reason a lot of people get it mixed up is because people get being introverted and extroverted mixed up with being shy and outgoing. It is very possible to be a shy extrovert. It is also very possible to be an outgoing introvert. Just because someone's big, loud, chatting to everyone, really social and life of the party, doesn't mean that they're not absolutely exhausted when they get home from these social interactions. Same way, if someone's really quiet, doesn't talk much, and you think they're a bit weird or they're a bit boring or they're just really shy, that doesn't mean that going out and even just being at that party was really, really good for them and really sort of boosted their energy levels, or when they finally did have the courage to go and speak to people, it really boosted their levels and made them feel a lot better than if they just hadn't gone at all. This came up for me because, as you guys know, got my rugby socials on Wednesdays, which was yesterday as this video goes out. So Tuesday night, for whatever reason, I just didn't sleep well at all. Like, I was still just laying there at 3 o'clock in the morning, wide awake. And if you guys, you know, I'm a complete granddad. Like, I need like 8-9 hours sleep. I'm not one of these people who can survive on like 5 or 6 hours. And when I woke up, I was like, that's it. I'm not going to rugby today. Certainly not going to social. I'm not going to, I feel really bad, but I'll send a message to the lads and just say, look, I can't get lads support. And I was just like, I just need to lay in bed all day. And when I was younger, before I knew about everything that I've just talked about there, that's probably what I would have done. I would have just tried to sleep it off or whatever. Whereas now I'm a bit older and I know what I'm like, what I actually did was got my logical brain thinking, yeah, I needed a couple of coffees to sort of literally get me out of bed. But once I had something to eat, I was like, no, got down to rugby, helped that we won 50-0. But once I was down there, I'd spent time with the boys, shouting, jumping around, cheering, everyone going in, really good vibes. I was probably more energetic than if I'd had a full night's sleep, because I personally am very much an extrovert. That's probably quite easy to tell. It's very difficult to be. It can be quite difficult to be an extrovert, sorry, a YouTuber without being outgoing. So a lot of people would assume that YouTubers are extroverts, but like I said earlier, those things aren't the same. I am very much an extrovert. I really, as much as I do enjoy my own space, and that's why I did a video the other week on the importance of having friends. And some people who are introverts are the ones who can make it to the top, because they can just shut off all social interaction and just head down goals. For me, that just wouldn't work. That just would not work for me at all. Like, I need social interaction. I need my friends, even if that is just once a week and every Wednesday I see everyone. Like, that for me is sort of what will really keep me going. And in the end, by the time I got back from rugby, I didn't even need a nap. Sort of, I just sort of cracked on with the day, went out, and then I was probably out till about 3 o'clock in the morning, spending time and socialising with everyone. Whereas if I just tried to sleep it off, I probably would have had a nap, felt even worse, and then by the time I got to social, yeah, being at social probably would have cheered me up, but it would have taken me that extra amount of time to get there. But because I knew myself, I knew that what I needed was social interaction. And again, this is why it's so important for you guys to know, because I'm sure you guys have been in that situation a lot, where sometimes you wake up and it might be something that you were really looking forward to. It could even be your own birthday or something like that, and you wake up and you're like, I'm just not in the mood to go out. And if you're an introvert and you go, no, I'm just going to push through it, I'm just going to turn up and go anyway, you're probably just going to end up feeling worse. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go, but you should find ways to try and make yourself less tired before then. Maybe a nap would be good for you, or having a really chill day where you are just on your own. Put your phone on airplane mode for the day so you don't have to interact for anyone. Really charge that social battery for the evening. Whereas if you're an extrovert, like I was explaining there, if you got a party in the evening and you're not really feeling it, and all you do is sit in your bedroom all day alone trying to nap or feel, you're going to feel 1,000 times worse. You want to get out, get on a walk, say hi to people on the walk, like strangers that you walk past, go to the shops, buy something, ask the cashier how their day's going, because any sort of social interaction is going to charge your battery. And that's certainly what I'm like. If I had tried to make this YouTube video yesterday morning when I first woke up, I probably would have barely been able to get my words out, because my battery was just so absolutely drained. So for you guys who didn't know sort of these definitions of introvert and extrovert, I hope it's given you something to think about. Really try and figure out what you are, because I think, like I said, a lot of people get thrown off by conflating being shy and outgoing with introvert and extroverted. If you're someone who you're like, I don't get it, I'm really outgoing, but whenever I go to a party, I just really struggle to talk to people, I don't get it. It's not that you're probably an introvert, and you have to maybe prepare slightly differently. Likewise, you might be sat there going, I don't understand, I'm absolutely craving talking to this person, but I cannot physically bring myself to do it because I'm so shy. You're just a shy extrovert, which is fine, but that might mean that you can really challenge yourself, because that's almost sort of a better one. Because if you're a shy extrovert, you know what you need to do. You need to get over your shyness, and everyone needs to get over their shyness. That's like, it's never good to be shy. You should always feel confident talking to people, but that could be that little extra boost of motivation, because if you can push through that, you're going to completely change your social life for the long term, and potentially rewire sort of how your life works, really. Don't want to go around in circles. I think I've made my point. Thank you for you guys who make it all the way to the end. I do really appreciate you. If you did find any use in it, as always, subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, comment any other advice, any experiences you guys have had below, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care, lads.